I'd like to announce that I am signing with Arizona State football.
Congrats, man.
Thanks.
Happy Wednesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Professor Oates, also known by the U.S. government as Erik Ruby. We've got the deli man behind the Mac. That is what the U.S. government refers to him as. He's making all the magic happen. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. JJB in the chat, Short Bus, Aaron, the list goes on and on with Arizona State fans ready to talk about early signing day, or at least the first day of the early signing period for the class of 2026. Rubus, do you feel old yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Class of 2026.
I've been feeling old, man.
What class were you?
Even the 2025.
2025, yeah.
I mean, people think I'm 12.
You're a sophomore?
People think I'm 12.
Congratulations. It's huge for you.
Yeah.
It's huge for you. Wow. What were you, Deli Man? That was a soft thing. Deli might be closed today, ladies and gentlemen.
What, like in football?
Yeah.
Or in life?
Just in life, I guess.
If out of high school?
Yeah.
2015.
2015. What were you?
2017.
2016.
Yeah.
So we
got our
all
bases covered.
Yeah, we did. I mean, what a 3-year run for Arizona State, huh?
Yeah.
To get the Deli Man, me, and then you.
Yeah, just back to back to back.
That was an incredible recruiting
Did you join
class.
Cronkite right out of like high school?
Yeah, like I didn't go to a JUCO. Yeah.
Well, no, I transferred. I transferred from the WP Carey Business School.
Oh, okay. So you were a transfer.
Out of it. I didn't transfer.
Wow, what did they kick you out of school for?
Well, you had to maintain a certain GPA, and I was drinking too much beer.
Yeah,
you didn't have a high enough GPA for WP Carey, but you did for Cronkite?
You needed a 3.0 to stay in WP Carey, and so then I transferred to a JUCO, which is going to do communication classes to get my GPA up to get into Cronkite. Real thing that happened.
What a
guys.
route! What a route!
And now look at you.
And yeah, they were worried about the character issues. They were right.
Doug in the chat. How are you feeling, Anthony? Doug, I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I got an uppercut and a roundhouse from a burrito this morning, and it just all of a sudden really started to hit me. But it's all good because I am juiced and amped for you guys to see the conversation a little bit later on in today's show with one of the newest Arizona State commits. That is, of course, defensive lineman Kirtland Vakalahi, which we found out. We nailed the pronunciation of it the last several days, so that is huge for us. A really awesome conversation that we will get to a little bit later on in the show. We've got some individuals that we think could really headline this 2026 recruiting class. We'll get into that again a little bit later, but kind of want to break down just offensively and defensively the commits that Arizona State has received. Again, I don't know if every single player has signed to this point. It is just the first day of early signing period, but a good chunk of them have put pen to paper. And Rubus, none bigger than the guy who's headlining this 2026 recruiting class, and that is 4-star quarterback Jake Fette.
Do you see the touchdown that he had?
I did. 80-yard score.
Kenny's got type.
Yeah.
And I think Jake Fette falls right into it. Man, is it hard not to get excited about what this kid could do at Arizona State.
Mr. Fette.
Right? And I know that you and I were talking about it, and are you maybe starting to come around to the idea that he might be playing some football next year for the boys?
Look, I haven't. I have not got around to that side of thinking quite yet.
He's the highest rated quarterback recruit since Jaden?
It's got to be. Yeah. Got to be.
Conover didn't reach this height.
Nah. No.
Conover was a 4-star, but he had some time in between.
Conover was buns, guys. I'm not talking about Jacob Conover anymore. Okay? Can we be done?
I don't know.
He's
can't
not
commit.
here anymore.
I can't commit to that.
Can we talk about Finn Collins?
We're not talking about Finn Collins either.
was actually my goat.
Benedict Meredith. Right?
That quarterback room was kind of fun.
It was super fun.
They weren't good, but they were fun.
They were super fun.
Like Finn was just on the
They were
team.
good at other things.
Yeah, Finn was really good at taking pictures.
Yeah, photography.
Finn's flicks.
Yeah. So Jake Fette. No, I haven't got around to the idea that Fette will be starting as a true freshman as of, December 3rd. We'll see, again, kind of what transpires with Sam Levitt, whether he stays or enters a transfer portal. I think that will obviously have a big impact on what Fette's future looks like, at least in his freshman year. Cam Dyer, do you keep him at quarterback? Do you move him to wide receiver? Again, I'm in the camp that Butter is still a little bit of a ways away, Michael Tollefson, from actually seeing the field as a quarterback at Arizona State. And then there is the option of bringing in a veteran guy, which I think regardless of Sam Stanger going, I think Kenny Dillingham will add a quarterback in the transfer portal, just based off of what we've seen year over year through the first 3 seasons of him here. You go back to year 1, obviously you brought in Pine, you brought in Rashada in the class, and you brought in Jacob Conover. None of those guys worked out at the quarterback position.
Jacob Conover, yes.
You ended up adding Jeff Sims. Of course, you bring in Cam Dyer, Michael Tollefson, Sam Levitt. And then the following season, you keep Jeff Sims. You don't really add a quarterback in the portal. You got Christian Hunt that stayed put. You lost Navi to the portal as well. But one thing is for sure, at least as it relates to the way Kenny Dillingham is operated, and Marcus Arroyo, because I think you got to throw him in there as the offensive coordinators. There's a big piece of what he thinks that kind of goes in with how they evaluate quarterbacks and who they ultimately bring in. So I think time will tell whether or not Fette is going to be a true freshman day 1 starter. I'm more so in the camp that in today's day and age of college football, true freshman starters, not just at quarterback, but really across the board are such a rarity now, just based off of the fact that you can go get a player that has played 2 years of college football. And especially if you're paying for a veteran quarterback, odds are your veteran quarterback should be playing. They've got more knowledge. They're more used to the pace of the sport. Now, I think Jake Fette is a really, really talented quarterback. He is somebody that is a top 10 quarterback nationally in the class of 2026, rated by 24/7 Sports. He is the number 9 quarterback. And we know there are a lot of really, really solid 2026 quarterbacks that are headed to the Big 12. And again, as it relates to Fette, I think it really is going to be a wait and see what Sam Levitt does.
Totri?
Yeah.
I forgot that he plays ball in El Paso.
Yeah.
Fette, yeah. Yeah, he's an El Paso kid.
You can't be slandering so much, man.
He's coming here for a reason.
Fette.
Come on.
I'm
coming here for a
slandering El
reason.
Paso. I'm not even really slandering El Paso.
I'm getting chills thinking about the Jake Fette return to home Sun Bowl game that ASU's in 2 years.
No, you know what I'm getting
shut
chills
your
for? I'm getting chills for our one-on-one interview in person with Jake Fette when we go to El Paso to cover the Sun Bowl. So now we're rooting for the
I'm not
Sun.
rooting for the Sun Bowl.
I thought I got you on board.
Okay, so here's a question.
Okay, here's
look,
an answer.
I'm very excited about Fette, and I
don't know. I don't see a smile on your face. There it is.
My mind just kind of has been a little derailed here.
Okay, where'd it go?
If you had to pick one of these 3 options as the most likely option to be starting quarterback for Arizona State University next year, and you had to choose between Sam Levitt, Jake Fette, and other, what would you pick?
You're mean. You said Jake Fette, other, Levitt, so a transfer.
And other would be transfer like Cam Dyer, I guess.
Or Sam Levitt.
Or Jacob Conover.
Sam Levitt is going to be the starting quarterback at Arizona State in 2026. I feel
Hashtag
good.
breaking news?
No, that's not news breaking. You asked a question, I'm giving you an answer.
Breaking news.
I think Sam Levitt will be the starting quarterback at Arizona State.
Cool.
In 2026.
I'm just curious because look, I mean, either way, I would go with the same way. I just think that with
the Sam way,
I would go the same way.
Yeah.
I think with Fette, what's going to be really interesting is, and people have said it in chat, talking about how he's so in on ASU. He's talking about it like we, like he's French, but he's really from El Paso, and he's been committed for a long time. And I think that's the faith in Kenny Dillingham as a quarterback's coach. And so even if he doesn't play, I would be excited about him, like being at least just in the system.
G-Rod 3959 just said Sam's done.
Wrong.
Damn.
Should we do a breaking news graphic?
What?
He's done here.
He's done?
With dinner? He's done with lunch?
What do you think, Deli Man?
Who do I think is going to be back here next year?
I don't know. His question.
Who do you think starts at quarterback next year?
Fette, other.
My gut's telling me other, sadly.
Why is it sadly?
Because I would rather have Sam
Could
start.
be Tom Brady. You don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
You said other.
Yeah. Could be
Tom Brady starting quarterback for your Arizona State Sun Devils.
SquarePants.
Huh?
Could be SpongeBob.
It could be. That would also be.
That sounds like a draft.
Objectively a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see what Mr. SquarePants can do.
Look, I I love the idea of Sam returning, and I want that with everything because I think I don't know if there's a better situation right now in college football. I mean, there obviously can be. You never know what a certain kid has in a system, whatever. But I don't know if there's a better situation to have in college football than one of the top 5 returning quarterbacks in the country coming back to your school. They're going back to the same system. And
the vibes would be incredible.
That's why Noah Fifita going back to Arizona for a 4th year is huge because he's only getting better.
Assuming he goes back for a 4th year.
Where is he going?
I'm not saying. I'm just.
You see what his dad said about Kenny?
I'm just saying, assuming, right? Because again, anything can happen.
I was just gonna make a joke.
You were gonna dunk on me for a second?
No, I was gonna be like, "Where is he going? The circus?"
Jeez, Mr. Falafel Pita is probably going to still be the starting quarterback.
Okay, so Jake Fette.
Yeah, we are. Wow,
we have been really all over the place.
Let's go. I'm juiced.
Well, if Fette's watching, get used to shows like this. But we're going to be interviewing him, being like, "Would you consider your play style similar to SpongeBob SquarePants
pita bread
and falafels?" Sharon says, "What did Fafita's dad say about Kenny?" Just basically was a glaze fest.
Yeah, less glazed him. Get it together, man. Come on. Jake Fette, not the only major offensive commit that put pen to paper today for the Arizona State Sun Devils, following up Jake Fette in terms of highest rated commits in this class of 2026 for the Sun Devils is running back Cardae Mack, also from Texas, ironically enough. Arizona State's top 3 rated commits in the class of 2026 are all from Texas. Now, Cardae Mack, 5'9", 210 is what he's listed as, a true 4-star by 24/7 Sports. I feel like anytime the Sun Devils get a running back in the portal, Erik, you got to kind of be excited based off the fact that Sean Aguano has these guys churning out 1,000-yard season after 1,000-yard season.
Any running back that comes into the running back room, I'm immediately like, are you the guy?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because when have they not had a guy? Statistically speaking, one running back in the ASU running back room is going to be really, really good every single year.
Historically,
right? Like historically speaking, especially like with Sean Aguano as well in his tenure here, you look at every single running back room that he's had, there has always been a guy.
Yeah.
Right? So is it Cardae Mack? Is Raleek Brown back for another year? Kanye Udo hasn't entered his name in the transfer portal, but we've seen that they've had a really good...
Hey.
What?
You're missing... the guy.
Kyson Brown.
Kyson Brown's going to be your starting running back next year.
If Raleek's not gone.
There's a lot still to be decided.
Anyways, Cardae, I think Cardae, as far as guys, when you go watch their huddle. What did you just say?
Ben P. Don't worry. Shane's
what is going on?
Shane's tweaking. You go. You keep going. Keep talking. Shane's tweaking right now. We need to get Shane on a bus to Mexico.
Guys, what was your Spotify Raps? Let's just do that.
I'm not doing that right now. We'll do that later.
Cardae Mack is such an interesting prospect because of the 2 freshmen you had this year that didn't see a ton of time, or the 2 sophomores that you had this year.
Man was a true freshman.
Man is a true freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, two freshmen and a redshirt freshman because Jason Brown redshirted, right?
Yeah, Jason Brown redshirted, so you had him as a redshirt freshman. You had Man, Grayson Rigdon. Your running back room is like...
You got a lot of guys.
Players are going to leave.
Yeah. So what we always say when someone hits the portal, look at the depth chart first.
Yeah.
Or what is suspected to be the upcoming depth chart.
Arizona State is trying to win now.
Yeah.
This roster and this coaching staff are going to be doing everything in their power to win in 2026. So you should expect to see some potential freshmen hit that portal. Because again, this roster is going to look different on in a variety of different positions. So that's just kind of the way that it is. This is not new to just Arizona State. This is a lot of college football programs. And for Arizona State as being a destination, I think especially when the Sam Leavitt news drops, whether he's staying or going, that is going to have a massive impact on players that Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham try and get from the portal. Because are you trying to build around Sam Leavitt, or are you trying to build around somebody else and potentially, go pay and get a new quarterback? But again, regardless of who's playing quarterback, and it's been this way since Sean Aguano's been here, there has been a consistency at the running back position that is just something that you have to be in awe about, right? From Eno Benjamin to Cam Scadaboo to Xavier Valade to Rashad White to even Raleek Brown this year. I think Cardae Mack, he fits the mold of running back that Arizona State, in theory, I think will really start to continue to hone in on offseason after offseason. Yes, he is a tank, but he can kind of do it all in terms of the running back position. If you look at the running backs that Arizona State added this past recruiting class in Grayson Rigdon, somebody that, again, can really do it all. He's a versatile piece. You didn't see him, of course, in 2025, redshirted. You look at a guy like Man, also somebody that kind of fits that mold. For them to go get Kanye Udo in the portal doesn't really fit the vibe of what Arizona State's running back room traditionally I would expect it to be, because you go and you look at Oregon, you look at Auburn, you look at FSU, where Dilly's been and what these backs have done. They're not just traditional guys that we're going to run in between the tackles, right? You look at a guy like Bucky Irving that he had at Oregon, kind of all over the place. You look at like a Kenneth Gainwell that I want to say he had either at Memphis or Auburn. These are their scat backs, but they're scat backs that pack like a punch that can lower their shoulder. And that's why Raleek Brown is the exact mold of running back that Dilly has, utilized in the past. It fits the system.
Had him put on weight to go into the season, so he could do a little bit more.
Cardae Mack reminds me a lot of Raleek Brown in kind of that mold.
And I think, but before we got sidetracked for the 15th time in the show, I was going to say that watching the huddle highlights for Cardae, and this is including Fette, it might have gotten me the most excited out of anybody. Yeah. Because of, with quarterbacks, I'm not going to say you're always worried about it translating, but there are obviously a lot of times where it's like, this guy is a top quarterback, and then he's on the bench at Sacramento State, right? With Cardae, when you watch him play, to me, it feels so solid. It's like, this guy's going to at least be, good, right? Can you be great? Can you be amazing? Okay, these are obviously steps that you're going to have to see once you actually play against college-level talent, but the way that he runs and the power and the speed, it feels like somebody that you're going to hear about in camp, and you're going to hear about, every time this guy touches the ball, he does something impressive.
Explosive.
It feels like he's going to be that type of guy.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see these guys get here in the spring, or, some of them get here in the fall. Usually if you're signing early signing period, you're making the effort to get here in spring. It has a massive impact on what your availability might be during the actual season. Look, Fette and Mack are just two of several high-level new Arizona State Sun Devils. We did get sidetracked. We will get through the entirety of those offensive commits, the defensive commits. Again, we've got the Kirtland Vakalahi interview, and so much more on today's PHNX Sun Devil Show. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review. And, guys, we'll be back on the other side of this quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, regardless of which sporting event you are trying to go to, whether it is an Arizona State basketball game, a Phoenix Suns basketball game, any of the games, even a potential World Cup matchup in the future, well, where are you getting your tickets? The easy answer, the right answer, the affordable answer, and the answer you can trust. That is Game Time. I know Rubus and I have used Game Time a number of times, not together, separate occasions, of course. Now, Rubus, whether he's going to concerts, me, if I'm going to shows, games, it doesn't matter, because it feels like the deals always get better the longer you wait when it comes to Game Time. It is the perfect ticketing app if you are a procrastinator, something that we both are. I'm sure the Deli Man is as well. Plus,
vehemently shaking
the
his head.
interface of the app for me, guys, it feels like it's super, super user-friendly. It's super fun to honestly just kind of play around with
It
and
pays to
look at.
procrastinate. It does.
Huh?
It pays to procrastinate.
Oh,
with Game Time.
100% on Game Time. Make sure you take the guesswork out of buying soccer tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
Let me ask you a rhetorical question. Are you trying to find ways to save money? It's rhetorical because we all know the answer.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody is. That's why APS is here to help. When you upgrade to a smart thermostat, which cut costs year after year after year, and APS customers can get a new smart thermostat from as low as $0 at aps.com/sale. And what does the smart thermostat do? Well, guess what? You can change your temperature from your phone to take advantage of lower cost off-peak hours. And of course, when you're entertaining in the holidays and people want to feel different levels of comfortability, hot, cold, anything in between, you can find the right balance and the right balance for your pockets. So once again, APS customers can get a new smart thermostat from as low as $0 at aps.com/sale. Come on, dude.
Sale!
Shipping and taxes not included. Other restrictions apply.
I wasn't expecting the point, man. It was your ad read. You pointed to me.
Because you went sale.
Yeah, I did. Sale. Great song, right? No? Anybody? We got a Suns
It's
watch
certainly
party.
a song.
We got a Suns watch party. Actually, I'm not going to say we. He has a Suns
You're not
watch
coming?
party at Gila.
You're not going to be there?
I mean, yeah, maybe. 12.
There's no way that you can
December
come on.
8th, baby. December 8th.
Let's go. Monday, Minnesota Timberwolves. Last time these two teams played, Colin Gillespie hit a game-winning shot in a improbable comeback.
That's your
This
celebrity
time,
lookalike.
I'll take it. I don't think it is, but I'll take it.
Bro, it's just white.
Yeah, it's kind of racist, man.
Okay.
But 5:30 p.m. tip-off pregame show starting at 5. We'll get there early. Espo has said he will be buying everybody their first drink for free. If they come out there, why are you staring at me like that?
Espo buying drinks for free.
Yeah, now you might show up.
I might
huh?
show
I
up
was
on
like,
a
why
Monday.
are you staring at me like
Might
that?
show up on a
Coming
Monday.
out with, of course, me, Steven, Espo, and our newest member, Gil, who just got added to the show. Obviously, you've been having a great time with Gil. It'd be awesome for y'all to come out there and get to know him and also say hi to the freckled Mamba as well. So come hang out. It's free. Go phnx.com/events. Wild Horse Pass. Sharon, see you there.
Also, dramatic pause. Sign up to become a
weird today.
diehard today because guess what?
What?
Eric Ruby.
Extended.
You've been extended.
Let's go.
Yeah, congratulations. Not you specifically, but of course that diehard deal. Listen up, guys, because this is huge. Of course, we're running the biggest diehard deal that we have ever offered, and it's been extended for one extra day. You guys can join the diehards for an unbelievable 67% off your first year. That means the entire year is just 26 bones equivalent to U.S. currency, dollars.
It's a 1-to-1 translation.
So that's
Yeah,
over $50
nowadays.
in savings off the regular $79.99 price. If you are an Arizona State fan and you enjoy the content that we do daily, well, pulling back the curtain, if you guys are a diehard or want to become a diehard, that diehard Discord is popping 24/7,
Always.
365, talking about Arizona State. But it's not just the Sun Devil chat. You've, of course, got the Wildcats, got the Cardinals, Diamondbacks. There's UFC in there. There's everything under the sun
There's
that
a
you could
weeb
possibly
chat.
imagine. A what?
A weeb chat.
A weeb?
Weeb.
yeah.
Oh, I haven't been invited to the weeb chat.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's a
Not
bummer
yet.
for me.
You got to invite yourself to the
You
Weeb
also
chat.
will unlock 20% off all merch and events, the Die Hard Welcome Kit, unlimited premium content, and
Here.
directly support the work that we get to do every single day.
Here's the selling point. Chat. Die Hard membership normally is $79.99.
Yeah.
How much is it right now?
26 bones.
How much is a t-shirt? About 26 bones.
Yeah.
You just get a t-shirt and you get the membership for free for a year.
Yeah.
Chat.
I said it a longer way than he did, but
Become a diehard.
yeah, become a diehard.
Don't
Hit
be
that
a
like
loser.
button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Again, we appreciate everybody hopping in today to talk about those Arizona State Sun Devils. Look, all I'm going to say is I don't think it's a coincidence that the diehard deal is $26 and we're talking about the class of 2026 today.
I think it is a coincidence.
Just throwing
Let's
that
roll
out
with
there.
it.
I don't think it's a coincidence at all. We talked Jake Fette. We talked Cardae Mack. Let's talk Jermaine Mitchell, the 6'8", 310-pound Adonis that is going to be playing left tackle for your Arizona State Sun Devils. I know we talked a little bit about him just the other day, the number 1 JUCO recruit in the country, flipping from Georgia to Arizona State. But it's not just Jermaine Mitchell that the Sun Devils and Coach Saga have added to that offensive line. Jermaine, though, the biggest, one of your favorite, Cortavius Tisby, an offensive tackle.
My goat.
6'5", 250 pounds. He was added today as well. Marcus Uni, an interior offensive lineman at 6'4", 293. There's some names on here that are just going to whoop my ass.
Hardest name to pronounce on this?
Siosaya La. You try.
Just, hey, it's fine.
You do it.
Lapuaho?
Okay, the first name?
Siosaya.
And put it together.
Siosaya Lapuaho.
Wow, that's not... Well, there's no O at the end. Yeah, there is. Wow. Huge. That guy, he also signed 6'4", 300 pounds. That is a lot of beef added to the Arizona State offensive line. Nineveh Nicholson is also an interior offensive lineman added, 6'3", 285. These offensive linemen, man, they are just... They're giant, and their names are hard to say.
You know what name is going to be really hard to say? I know this guy is not in the interior defense or offensive line. This is secondary. Zeth Thus.
Yes, that one kicks my ass.
That one kicks your ass?
Well, it's not hard to pronounce, but it's just such like a tongue twister. Zeth Thus. Zeth Thus.
Zeth? You think it's pronounced Seth?
No.
It might be.
Might be.
Zeth.
I know it's spelled. I got that part. By the way, a correction on Cortavius Tisby. I know on here it says 6'5". On his bio, he's actually 6'7", 305.
His bio.
His Twitter bio.
Yeah, so he lists himself as
6'7", 305
What do you
pounds.
list yourself as, Totri?
I'm a strong 5'8". Strong 5'8". Yeah. I don't lie. There's like, it's not like people that like lie about their height. Where it's like, oh, like what do you want me to say, 5'10", and then what? You're like disappointed?
No, I was just asking.
No. Yeah, what? Like I'm 5'8", so I'd listed at 5'8".
Yeah.
You know, it's.
And you're not trying to go to the league.
Yeah, I'm not trying to really go anywhere with my genetics. So
anywhere,
solid 5. Brother, I host
By
a
the way,
podcast.
Cortavius Tisby has an 86-inch wingspan.
Huh?
He has an 86-inch wingspan.
That's
the pterodactyl, Cortavius.
That one.
What a great name.
Those are some big dudes on the offensive line for Arizona State. No. Bad deli, man. Obviously, Jermaine is the expected cream of the crop based off the fact that he is the number 1 JUCO recruit in the country. And I know we'll get to maybe guys that we're a little bit more excited about specifically, individually within this class. But in terms of the offensive line as a whole, just what kind of difference do you see in this class versus maybe some of the other recruiting classes that Arizona State has had as it relates to the size up front?
I mean, it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how you compete, right? The way that you are able to maintain and the way that honestly you're able to sell quarterbacks that want to be here in the future goes beyond just an offensive system. We're going to be able to protect you.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about it yesterday with Jermaine committing. Like, how big of a deal is this for a guy like Sam Levitt? Right? How much does adding cream of the crop help you in retaining a top tier quarterback? These are all things that matter. And also just dominating the line of scrimmage on a daily basis and having guys that can rotate in that are 300 pounds. That's going to wear down a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's massive, right? Not just being able to protect your quarterback, but also to establish a ground game, right? It's something that we talked about yesterday on the show. Overall, it starts up front, offensive line, defensive line. This is where Arizona State needs to improve the most. I think going into the 2026 season, I would say that the majority of the Arizona State fan base probably agrees that up front, the trenches is where this team needs to get better. Now, defensive line, I think you just need to reload. Along the offensive line, I think it does need to look a little bit different depending on the style that you're trying to play in 2026. But getting those guys up front is certainly going to be a game changer for the Sun Devils. We talked earlier about Cardae Mack, but there are some other skill guys that Arizona State has added through this the first day of early signing period. Of course, a big one, literally Hayden Vercher, a tight end out of Thousand Oaks, California, 6'4", 215 pounds. You also have Landon Myrie, a 6'4" tight end as well out of Ohio. So the Sun Devils and Jason Moss specifically getting some more size to reload at that tight end position, of course, because you lost Shimon Mateer out of eligibility. I would probably expect this team to add maybe one tight end in the portal. You do have the return of Kamari Anderson, who didn't do a ton in 2025. But you do have a lot of young tight ends already on the roster, and then of course you're adding these guys as well.
And he's a tweener too, because he's like he can kind of play anywhere, Vercher.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of tight ends that do a lot of different things. You know, if Cameron Harpool is on this far end, then Vercher's on the opposite end.
Well, you're talking just like in general.
In terms of players.
Yeah.
Like who they are.
Yeah. 1,000%. Completely different style of player. Now, I think before we move on to the defense, one really notable part of this 2026 recruiting class, Erik, not a single wide receiver on the board for the Sun Devils. The one wide receiver that they did have, Cooper Reed, flipped his commitment to TCU. So you don't have any wide receivers in this class of 2026. We know you're losing Jordan Tyson. Your guy, Malik McLean, is also leaving. So there's definitely going to be a heavy need to get wide receivers in this transfer portal.
Malik's a senior?
Malik's gone. Yes.
Bro, how did you not know that?
Malik is gone.
I thought he was a junior.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
See ya.
coping.
What I will
adios.
say about the receiver position,
We're going
though,
portal hunting.
yeah, well, that, and you had three guys that, you know, you thought could at least sniff some playing time this year, like in Chance, Corey, and Harry Hassman.
Yeah.
So like,
You got Noble too.
so like,
I'm taking Noble. Okay. Noble will play before Chance plays. Throwing that out there. But you did have some potential guys at wide receiver that in theory were going to play.
The biggest thing is you have to retain the receivers on your roster right now. Your
Jordan Tyson.
your Jalen Moss, and your Jaron Hamiltons. Like those guys have to come back.
I mean, do they have to?
I think so because Jalen Moss was a weird situation. We know what he can do. We know what his talent level is. Jaron Hamilton feels like a freshman this year. The next year is when you make your biggest leap. He had some real playing time this year.
Who did?
Jaron Hamilton, like he played in some real games this year.
Yeah, and then he went missing.
Yeah, he did, but he was still playing up until the end. Like this is when you make your biggest jump is after the first year of actual playing time in college football. You make these adjustments. You seem like you completely disagree.
With retaining wide receivers?
No, with Jaron Hamilton.
Jaron's an interesting one, man, because you see all the talent out there, you see the plays that he makes, and then again, like the coaching staff opts not to play him, and that's got to be for certain reasons,
for
right?
Sure.
Because you're explosive, you've had a lot of time to get with the playbook, so there is an expectation that you come in and have an impact, and that wasn't necessarily the case. I think this wide receiver room looks a lot different heading into next season. The same way that we talk about, you know, Arizona State needing to beef up the offensive line for Sam Levitt and whoever's playing quarterback. Well, you have to get new stars on the team. Jalen Moss is great. Derek Eusebio is awesome. I think he's been an awesome addition. I'm super pumped to see him with a full year under his belt next year at starting in the slot. I think he's earned that opportunity. Jaron Hamilton, like all of these other players, I'm excited to see Harry Hassman. I know this program really likes Harry. He's done some really interesting things in practice. Corey Butler's an interesting name out there. Let's be honest. You don't have a star on this offense right now.
They're going.
You don't have a single guy that you can point to and say that is the focal point of the Arizona State offense in 2026. Remove Sam from the conversation. Remove all quarterbacks.
Are we going to play the interview first or get into our things first?
We're going to play the interview first.
Okay, because we'll talk about that a little later. So
but like just based off of what you have right now, you don't have a guy like going into this year. You're like, boom, we got Jordan Tyson.
Yes.
Going into the year prior, like we got Jordan Tyson before fall camp. You said we had Jordan Tyson, Elijah Badger, and Cam Scatterbo.
Yes.
Right. So like at this point in time, this is the first year really under Kenny Dillingham where we're looking around and it's like, who's going to save this offense, especially if Sam Levitt's not here? You got to go find that guy in the portal because I don't think he's on the roster.
What are those guys called? Playmakers.
You
don't have a playmaker, and that's my biggest need, which we'll get to later. Like that's it. Yeah, 100%.
Perez asking about AJ Ia. AJ Ia is still on the roster. I still think he's going to be a phenomenal tight end. Out of all the young tight ends on this roster, he is by far and away number one for me. It's more so, again, like Shaman was the lead tight end last year. I'm interested to see what his usage looks like this year. He will certainly be a starter or the number 2 tight end. It's just more so a matter of getting these guys all in the building, seeing what they look like together, and then kind of going from there. But that kind of rounds out the offense. I know we want to get to the defense. We got an interview, and then we have got some stuff that we want to discuss just in terms of the recruiting class as a whole. We will get to it all. I promise you. No need to worry. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the other side of this quick break.
You want to be prepared in life for anything. And sometimes you got to think about, the tough situations before you get into tough situations. And hopefully you never have to use this number, 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841. It's the number to the husband and wife law team. But unfortunately, life happens. Serious injuries, accidents do happen. Or sometimes there is a wrongful death in the family. And the lawyer that you hire matters, and doing your research matters. That's why the husband and wife law team, led by Mark and Alexis Breyer, are the number one choice for you. Their team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience with multiple certified specialists in personal injury and in wrongful death. In Arizona, the state bar has certified less than 1% of all lawyers as specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. They are here for you and for the people of Arizona. So if you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you.
Look, the 2025 Arizona State regular season didn't necessarily go as planned, but I'll tell you what, I enjoyed every step of the way, especially those road games, because we were back here and we were sipping on tequila, enjoying the wins, drowning out the losses, and everything in between. And of course, it was Three Amigos tequila, because it's not only a staple for PHNX, but for all Valley sports fans. Now, they're family-owned right here in the Valley, founded in 1939 and crafted in Mexico with 100% blue Weber agave. It's award-winning for a reason. What makes Three Amigos different? Well, that's easy. It's the agave they farm themselves. No outsourcing needed. They create a true farm-to-glass tequila. I'll tell you what, it's great for a tequila soda. It's great for a Bloody Maria. It's great for all tequila-inspired cocktails. So this season, tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I want to change it up just a little bit. We will get into the entirety of the defensive recruits and commits for Arizona State, but I don't want to hold this back any longer for Sun Devil fans. Rubus and I had a chance to catch up with one of the newest Arizona State defensive linemen. That is JUCO transfer, the number 8 JUCO commit in the country, or recruit, in the country that is now an Arizona State Sun Devil. That is Kirtland Vakalahi. A phenomenal interview. I want to go ahead and kick it to Kirtland. That way you guys get to listen into why he opted to choose Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State as his next school. Kirtland, first off, congratulations on officially signing with Arizona State. Just what have the emotions been like for you over the last 48, 72 hours, really, since you announced that you would be signing with Arizona State?
Yeah, man, there's been a lot of support. There's been a lot of great people that have reached out. All the coaches are super excited, the players. So it's been really exciting having them behind me, and also my family and my coaches at New Mexico Military, my JUCO that I'm coming from. Everyone's been super supportive, and I think that's the biggest kind of difference that I've felt since being unsure of committing. As soon as I made that decision, everyone was super on board with it, and it's been a great past couple of days just having them behind me.
I think your journey to get to where you are today is really fascinating, and I'm wondering if it ever crossed your mind, like 5 years ago, that you would be playing college football at the highest level.
Man, I actually never thought like that this was a possibility for me. 5 years ago, I didn't even know how like what a snap was or what football really was. I mean, I'd seen like photos and videos online, but that's about as far as it went. So being in this position, playing the game at a high level, being a college athlete, it's definitely a blessing, man. Yeah.
You mentioned 5 years ago you didn't even know what a snap was. So how did you get here? 5 years later, obviously, to Arizona State. Just kind of take us through that path to getting to where you're at today.
Yeah. It started with my older brother. He was a recruit for the Eagles, an international recruit. So he actually was signed with the Eagles last year, and that kind of opened the doors for me. Um, with getting into football and getting introduced to the game. So once he was signed, he was part of the Super Bowl team. It really clicked for me too, and it made me realize that there was an opportunity to play this game, and it kind of sparked something within me and made me interested. And after learning more about the game, and getting an opportunity to go to a JUCO and play some football for the first time, man, I fell in love with it straight away, and ever since just been working hard and working towards being here.
Did it feel natural? Like, was the transition, I don't know, I want to say easy, because obviously there's a lot of hard work, but it felt like, okay, yeah, this feels right.
Yeah, no, definitely. It definitely felt right. It was hard and it was difficult, but just something about the game just felt special to me. I felt like I had an opportunity that was just I couldn't turn it down. Um, a lot of coaches that I talked to, before starting in football, and kind of the coaches that were recruiting me told me that if I really take this seriously, that there was a great opportunity for me to come and play college football. So it was something that definitely found natural, just in terms of having the right support behind me and having the physical, athletic abilities to play this game. So it definitely wasn't something that was too foreign. But again, yeah, it was definitely a hard journey and a hard road to get here. In terms of just playing at a military JUCO, playing against some of the best athletes, in the in JUCO, being from the Southwest Junior Football Conference, Junior College Football Conference. So it's a very competitive conference and a competitive game, but it helped me develop and it put me in the right situation to grow as a player. And now look where I am. So it kind of all worked out for sure.
So with all that said, you visited Arizona State this season at that West Virginia game. What was that experience like for you? And was there a turning point there when you actually were able to step foot on campus and see the environment and talk to the coaches where you were like, you know what, yep, this is where I want to be?
Yeah, man. It definitely wasn't the visit that I kind of knew that this was home for me. That's kind of when the biggest change of heart came, because I already had a couple of schools that I was super interested in, and Arizona State was actually like one of my last offers. They were my latest Power Four offer too. So they came a little bit later than some of the schools, but as soon as I went on that visit, I knew that there was something special. And of course, I got to talk to the coaches, Coach Reynolds, Coach Dillingham, Coach Amy, Josh, one of the recruiting and player personnel guys. Those people, those coaches, the staff, they all were really supportive of me, and they just seemed like they really wanted what was best for me, and that it showed me a lot about who they were and their culture. Then also just of course the plays. They've got a big group and a great bunch of guys over there, especially on that D line, the defensive front. Guys like Jacob, guys like Justin Watley. All those old guys that are kind of leading the way. They did a really good job of just showing me around and showing me what it means to be a Sun Devil, and I really wanted to be a part of it. So it worked out.
When you're playing in a completely different country from where you grew up in, completely different culture, was feeling like home the most important thing for you when taking the next step in your football career?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, if it isn't the biggest part, it's one of the biggest parts, because I truly believe that to play your best football, you gotta play for people that you want to play for. If I want to play for the guy next to me, I'm just naturally going to be a better athlete, and I'm also going to do better for myself. So I really wanted to find somewhere that I wanted to be, find a group of guys that I wanted to play for, and I really do want to play for the Sun Devils, and I want to be a part of this program. And one of the things that Coach Dillingham always said was that he wants guys that want to be there, and I want to be there, and I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. So I'm going to be the kind of player that the Sun Devils need me to be.
For you, kind of looking at this defensive line, obviously a lot of players out of eligibility, right? You mentioned two, and Justin Watley and Jacob Kangaika, Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba. The list kind of goes on and on of successful defensive linemen here that are no longer able to play college football at Arizona State. Was that at all a part of the decision, maybe coming into a place where you know immediately there's going to be some high-level competition to get on the field pretty early?
Sure. I think that yeah, it definitely played a bigger part in my decision. Just going to a program that kind of needs me. I think that there was a need for D linemen there, and they kind of made it known that there was an opportunity for me to go in and make an impact. Whether that be this season, the upcoming season, or the season after, I definitely think that there's a great opportunity for me to develop here. Of course, I got spring ball, so I'm gonna, you know, get right with Coach Reynolds and kind of see where that goes. But I think that yeah, having those big guys kind of lead the way this past year also just showed me that I can also be a successful D lineman.
If you had to summarize what you bring on the field, your game, to an Arizona State fan who's getting excited about the potential of seeing you next year, what would you say to them?
Man, I'm a bowler, man. I work harder than anybody else. That's one thing that I live by is that I just work hard. Being a new guy to the game, um, I think that I've done it once. I've kind of climbed the ranks, coming into JUCO, starting from the bottom, literally knowing nothing about the game, and then eventually becoming a top 10 JUCO player in the country. I know that I can do that again, man. This is just something that I do. One thing about me is that I'm a workhorse, man. I'm gonna make it happen some way. So I'm gonna do you guys proud.
Love it. I know that ASU fan base is pumped to hear that. Look, here at Arizona State, we know Brian Ward, they traditionally run that 4-2-5 kind of base defense. Do you see yourself really on the outside as a premier edge rusher, or maybe somebody that can play interior defensive line? And for you, is there anybody specifically that you've modeled your game after to kind of fit to that style?
Yeah, for sure, man. So I definitely do think that I'll be playing on that edge. They've talked to me. They said that they're really comfortable with me being on that edge. They trust my athletic abilities out there, but also being a bit of a bigger guy. 265, 260 playing weight. I can definitely shift inside a little bit. I've been in a four. I've been in a three technique before playing in JUCO, so I've learned you know all the inside and outside kind of deals, and I guess just developing off of that, we're going to see where Coach Reynolds sees me fit comfortably, and also B Ward said he's gonna make this defense really strong this year, and I really trust his game plan. So wherever they want to put me, whether that's inside or outside, maybe sliding inside on like a third down deal like Justin Watley, that's something that we're gonna definitely work on in the spring, and we're gonna see where I fit comfortably. But either way, I'm gonna make plays wherever they put me. So I take a lot of pride in playing inside or outside. I'm a very versatile player.
Do you feel like maybe getting to the game a little bit later than some other players allowed you to approach it in a way that makes you a little bit more versatile, a little bit more adaptable, because you're learning a lot of things that people had maybe gotten bad habits on, or they're like, okay, this is what I've done my entire life. Meanwhile, you come in here and it's like, hey, I'm just going to work hard and I have to learn everything. Now I'm able to do a
That's
little
a good
bit of
question.
everything.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I'm a clean slate with that, man. I really have nothing holding me back. As much as I'm raw to the game, there's also uh, you know, there's nothing that I have to unlearn. There's so much that I have to learn, but there's no bad habits in me. I'm a fresh player, and I'm ready to just become a molded player into this defense, and they can turn me into any kind of athlete that they want me to be. But I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to work hard, and I'm going to make an impact either way.
Kirtland, couple more questions, and we will get you out of here. I have to know, we've obviously talked a lot about football, but I mean, being from Australia, now living in the United States, I know you said you're in Utah currently. Just like, what have you noticed since you've been here is like the biggest difference, maybe just in culture or just living in the United States?
Yeah, man. People love football here, man. Football back home, but you got these amazing fans. They get riled up for games. They come and they show out. On my visit, just being in that atmosphere, that's just something that I've never really really felt before. That was a different kind of feeling. So just the culture around college football is really exciting, and it's something that I want to be a part of.
What was your first impression of Kenny Dillingham?
And he is crazy, man. So what actually happened was, we talked on the phone before and stuff, but like the first kind of like real look that I got at him was at the visit, the official visit. So I'm walking into practice. We're inside the bubble, the little dome, and I'm walking in, and then I just hear someone screaming. It's like a little kid screaming, running around, and I look, and it's Kenny Dillingham hyping up his. And I'm like, man, this guy's crazy, but I love it. That's the kind of energy that I want to be around, and that's the kind of energy that I want to play for. So he's a really good coach. I really love him as a head coach, and I'm excited to work with him.
That's so awesome. Look, we'll get you out of here on this one, Kirtland. Do you have a message for Sun Devil Nation, Arizona State fans, just on your commitment and what they can expect from you when you do get to Arizona State?
Yeah, I'm gonna make an impact, man. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna stay home. This is my home now. There won't be any transferring. This is me. I'm gonna come in, make a difference. I'm gonna be a great player, and I'm gonna make plays for the Sun Devil Nation.
Love it. Kirtland Vakalahi, one of the newest Arizona State defensive linemen. Kirtland, again, congratulations on signing today, man.
All right, thank you very much, folks. Up.
We'll break down the rest of the Arizona State 2026 recruiting class, specifically on the defensive side of the ball on the other side of our final break.
Get you a checking account that works for you because you deserve it. You deserve a checking account that works for you. And that's what you get with Mountain America Credit Union's My Style checking account. Things like offers on travel and events, loan rate discounts, identity protection, telehealth access, mobile phone protection, restaurant deals, and so much more. But also, get to a place that helps out Arizona State University Athletics, a place that has donated $250 to support University Athletics for every field goal made. They provide $20,000 in scholarships to award brand new shoes to community members in need, and they sponsor a shoe donation program to award brand new shoes to community members in need. Mountain American Credit Union is dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. Look more at macu.com/ASU, insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit only.
Look, if you are an Arizona State fan and you are looking to maybe celebrate Arizona State volleyball's back-to-back Big 12 championships, or if you're just trying to rep Valley sports well, look no further than our friends over at Rally House. Of course, they've got you covered with some of the best Valley sports merch in the game. Now, a bunch of locations: Glendale, Tempe Marketplace. I know our personal favorite is, of course, Tempe Marketplace, and that's because as Sun Devil fans, you're always looking for the next best thing that you can rock if you love Arizona State. And when it comes to that Tempe Marketplace location, literally half the store is Arizona State merch. We're talking hoodies, hats, overalls, knickknacks, jerseys, pajamas, shoes, literally cowboy hats, everything that you could possibly imagine. If you are a Sun Devil fan, they've got it at that Tempe Marketplace location. But it's not just for Arizona State fans. Arizona State, of course, Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Mercury, list goes on and on and on. Make sure you find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com today.
Woo, hit that like button.
Do that thing.
Do that thing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, look, Sharon with a $1.99 super chat saying that she would like to give away a Die Hard membership today, and today only to an ASU fan. So what we need you all to do, if you are not a Die Hard, and of course you are an ASU fan, go ahead and tag at PHNX Sports in the YouTube chat and say thanks, Mom, since Sharon is the chat mom, and you will be entered automatically to win a drawing. So do that. We'll spin a wheel at the end of the show. If only one of you enters, then that person gets a free Die Hard membership. But this is like the 15th Die Hard membership that Sharon has given away. Lots of our Die Hards right now are because of Sharon and because of Short Bus, and we appreciate all of you being able to donate. And if you want to become a member of our community, then Short Bus says thanks, chat mom. Short Bus, you're already there. You don't get two, okay? You don't get two. But if you're not a diehard, go ahead and do that.
Sign up. Do the thing. Sign up.
Do that thing.
Win the membership. Put on a quote graphic. Do that thing. What did you enjoy from that conversation with Kirtland?
Couple things. One, quote, I'm a baller. Two, quote, none of that transfer portal stuff. I'm here.
Yeah, that was awesome to hear.
3, quote, I walked in the practice facility and I heard somebody screaming like a little kid.
Kenny Dillingham.
It was Kenny Dillingham. Those are my 3 favorite things from the Vakalahi interview.
He's somebody that I think is going to do big things here. Reminds me a little bit of Justin Watley, just in type, in terms of like his the way he looks at things. Just again, kind of based off of off of that conversation. He brought up, like you said, Watley, Jacob Kangaika, a couple of transfer players themselves. So I'm excited, and I think again he's going to have every opportunity in the world to compete, to play this season and next. So that is big. Not the only defensive addition for Brian Ward. A couple of big ones. Julian Hugo as an edge rusher, the 3rd highest rated recruit for the Sun Devils, an edge, 6'4", 250 pounds. We talked to Kirtland, obviously. Along the defensive line, Landon Anderson is another one, 6'3", 275 pounds, out of Oklahoma. And then one final edge rusher on that list that is escaping me right now, Sinai Tenge. So 4 additions to that defensive line here already in that 2026 signing class through the first day of early signing period. Some big dudes.
Huge.
Not a ton of interior defensive linemen, which I think is interesting. Because
is that why you asked Kirtland where he thinks that
just based off like the fit, right? Because for a guy to be 6'5", traditionally you're more of an edge. But the way that Watley was kind of used kind of rethinks that as somebody that can play edge but also kick in, because you have talented edge rushers and play in the interior of the defensive line. So I do think that Kirtland is a guy that they can utilize in a similar fashion. So that leads me to believe that, again, this team is kind of approaching one of 2 things. Either they expect CJ Fette to be back, the interior defensive line, or they are going to go get a big interior defensive lineman to play that position, or I guess 3, that they think some of the other guys that they have at the D-line position are going to take that next step.
I mean, they might do all 3.
They could. They absolutely could do all 3. But is there one specifically on this defensive line that you think ASU fans should be excited about heading into that 2026 season?
It's hard not to get excited about Vakalahi. I mean, just hearing from him and hearing the type of mentality that he has and his story to get to this point, I mean, that's very impressive. But obviously, I mean, Julian Hugo has been a guy that since he committed, we've been really, really excited about. So it's hard not to be excited about all of them, honestly. But I would say just because we've talked to him, so it's probably unfair to everybody else, I'd go with Vakalahi.
Yeah, Vakalahi, again, is somebody that's going to be a lot of fun.
Kirtland Vakalahi?
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's a great name. I think you also, again, getting back to Hugo a little bit here, several big-time offers and still opted to choose Arizona State. A couple of those schools on the list, Utah, USC,
Texas
Tech on that list, a number of other Big 12 schools as well, Colorado, Baylor, Arizona, Houston, Kansas State, and he opted to choose Arizona State. This is not some just random commit. Again, the 3rd highest rated recruit for the Sun Devils here in this 2026 recruiting class. So I think Julian Hugo is going to be a potential impact player. Again, you look at these guys as freshmen, it's usually difficult for them to see the field as freshmen, especially in today's era of college football. But that defensive line in that edge rushing position, I think, is going to be really interesting, considering you have lost and will be losing a lot of veteran talent in that front 7. So I'm excited to see what these guys on the defensive line are capable of doing, not just, of course, the signees, but, of course, the transfer portal class when it eventually does open. Moving to the second level of this Arizona State defense. Again, we talked a lot yesterday about losing players, Keyshawn Elliott, Jordan Crook being some of them. We know Tate Romney hit the portal. But you did add a couple linebackers in this class. Big ones, too. Oscar Aguilar out of Downey, California. And then you added Mason Martin, 6'3", 220, out of Missouri. Kind of funny that the 2 linebackers that they added, not from Texas, not from Arizona, from 2 other places.
Hashtag Missouri to Tempe.
I'm big on Oscar Aguilar, man.
I know. Ever since he committed, that was one of the guys that. And again, like when you watch the huddle tape and the highlights and stuff, obviously you're not watching full games, but you can get like a general idea of what these guys do. And he was wrecking plays.
He's a violent. He's a violent player.
He was making some plays. I think you and I might have watched his tape together. We might have watched it on the show together. That had us looking at each other like, Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And for him to only be ranked, what, I think 157 at his position.
Yeah, and 130th in the state, only a 3-star. But again, we talked about it yesterday about stars don't matter. There are guys like that go under the radar every single year. And I have faith that Kenny's going to be able to find the right guys. And just, again, sometimes it doesn't translate. Sometimes watching huddle film, a lot of times watching huddle film doesn't translate to what happens in college. But that guy's got something about him that I would not want to get hit.
He's a thumper. He's a thumper for sure. And again, like, this is always a very interesting thing to me is that the prototypical size of some of these positions has changed over the years. And mind you, these guys will be coming in as true freshmen. Do you know off the top of your head the size of Keyshawn Elliott?
He's smaller.
Which is crazy because looking at him, Keyshawn Elliott to me feels like the biggest linebacker on the team.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but
outside of Crew Jackson, who's just like ridiculously tall.
I've stood next to Keyshawn Elliott, and he's shorter than me.
I don't know how tall you think you are.
Isn't Keyshawn 6'3"?
He's 6'2". Keyshawn's 6'2", like 235 pounds.
I don't think Keyshawn's 6'2".
I think Keyshawn looks way taller.
I think Keyshawn looks like he's 6'5".
I think he looks taller when he's on the field.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Keyshawn.
Me and Keyshawn were like looking eye to eye.
I don't know about all that, man.
Yeah, I don't know
about all that.
I literally
again 6'2", 6'1", doesn't matter. 5'8", same thing.
2 years ago,
right?
Yeah, all same. Camp T 2 years ago, he was on the field trying to record a little NIL thing. Me and Kyle went up to go help him record it. I was standing literally
years ago.
Next
He's
to the
grown
guy.
since then.
Hey, he might have.
Yeah,
he might have. But that might be hey, like Cortavius Tisby is 6'7" on his listing. That might be Keyshawn's a little bit bigger on the listing than he is in real
looks
life.
big. He looks big to me, right?
Yeah.
And again, I guess that's not fair. Everybody looks big to me. But like 6'2", 235 pounds is what Keyshawn Elliott is listed as.
Okay, I think 6'2" is correct.
These two, that's what I said earlier, dog.
You said 6'3".
No, I said 6'2".
You said 6'2".
These linebackers that you have right here, Oscar Aguilar, 6'3", and Mason Martin, 6'3", 220. Like, you've got some bigger linebackers here already as true freshmen. That I think are going to make a massive impact.
And Jacob, no, he's not. He literally just like.
I don't know where you've been. You must be new here, dog.
I'd honestly say, like, if anybody is not insecure about their height, it's you.
Thank you,
man. Do not care.
No,
at all.
I've heard these things. Like, it's not like I just woke up one morning and I was like,
whoa.
holy shit, guys, I'm short.
Oh, man.
What happened?
Like, it's a surprise to you?
Yeah.
Like,
Come on, guys.
Don't get me wrong. Short jokes are, like, still fun.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not like it's not like we turn the
like I just
we
like
turn
I've
the
been
lights off and
surprised by
Totri just like puts his head in his hands and goes, they keep calling me short.
All right, to get back on track, I do want to make a quick correction from earlier in the show when we were talking about the highest rated quarterback. Obviously, Jaden Rashada. We forgot about Jaden Rashada.
Yes, you said Jaden. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh, I was talking about Jaden Daniels. Whoops.
Too many Jadens.
But only barely. Jake Fette right now, composite-wise, is the 13th highest rated recruit in Arizona State history.
Wow. Who's he sandwiched in between?
Connor.
Rashada and Johnny Wilson.
I forgot about Johnny Wilson.
Dude, Johnny Wilson was
Philadelphia Eagle, Johnny Wilson. Wow. Actually, I don't know if he's still on the.
He is.
Is he a practice squad guy?
Yeah, I think so. Oh my God! You know who's 15th? Sorry, this is crazy.
Give me a position.
Running back. You're never gonna get this.
I'm never going to get this.
I didn't know he was
is it like somebody that we had this job while he was at ASU?
Yeah.
Caleb Black.
No, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be like George Hart or Tevin White or something.
George Hart.
Tevin White is actually a pretty high recruit. This is even crazier.
I don't know.
Daniel Ngata. Daniel Ngata is the
he was a high 4-star.
Hey, get your Daniel Ngata officially licensed merchandise at our locker.
The 15th highest recruit in ASU history.
I forgot. He was out of Texas too, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I think he was out of Texas. Yeah, he was a high-rated recruit.
No, California.
Super explosive kick returner at Washington.
Anyway.
his final year. Yeah, tough. But yeah, you added some guys at the linebacker position. I'm very curious to see what that group looks like, especially the starting rotation going into 2026. Zyrus obviously has to make a big decision on whether or not he is going to be coming back. Martell Hughes is somebody that I think has the keys to this linebacker room as long as he wants it. And then some younger players, right? Tristan Bacon, Prairie Young Black Goat. Interested to see kind of what this linebacker rotation looks like. But you got two really good pieces here as true freshmen in Oscar Aguilar and Mason Martin. And then I would anticipate this team adding at least one transfer linebacker as well. So this linebacker room, the second level, this defense is going to be fun. But I don't know if I've had more fun talking about the Arizona State Sun Devils than when we talk about the DBs that Brian Carrington and Brian Ward add on a yearly basis, just because their measurables are freakish every single year. And they got more guys. They got Jalen Williams out of Georgia, 6 foot, $170, a 3-star. Daquan Dunn, another corner out of Texas, 6 foot, $170, $175. Here we go. Zeth Thus, a safety, listed at 5'11", $185. And then Davis Kinney, who was the pretty much the most recent commit. I want to say the only uncommitted member of the class of 2026 that signed today for the Sun Devils.
He wasn't a recruit. It was a trade.
You're right.
ASU traded for him from Northwestern.
He was previously committed to Northwestern. Not a flip, though. He had uncommitted or decommitted from Northwestern before committing to ASU. So Davis Kinney out of Texas as well at the safety position. 4 more DBs.
When did he decommit?
Huh?
When did he decommit?
I want to say a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
I think like November 17th or 18th. I think around that time. So 4 more DBs for Brian Carrington to kind of mold to this defense. And again, I think I mentioned it with the linebackers yesterday. This defensive coaching staff has done such a phenomenal job when they get some of these really, really young freshmen, when they get them on campus and they give them like a year and a half to just kind of let them grow in their bodies, learn the system, learn the defense, learn how to play the position at this level. God, they turn into some dogs, dude. Like you talk about Ro Torrance when he first got here, not necessarily the youngest player, but I think Arizona State really used him well. There was another smaller corner. What was his name?
For what? When?
Right, Dilly's first year here. Smaller corner. D Ford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was super fun,
dude.
Got him from a JUCO.
Remember Ed Woods?
Ed Woods.
Dude.
Yep. Before he transferred.
God, Ed Woods was awesome.
Where
did he end up?
He ended up at like Michigan State, I think, is where he ended up transferring.
Definitely.
They've got some good DBs. Obviously, Keith Abney, Rodney Bimage, I think, is probably next up on that list. So anytime that we could talk about these Arizona State DBs, I feel like this position group just is so much fun every single offseason.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because whenever you break it down like position group by position group, you're like, ASU's had some really talented players in this position group, kind of consistently. So yeah, it's fun when you start to look back at the recruiting classes from a couple of years ago, when you look at Keith and you look at CJ and you look at how these guys have slowly kind of come into their own and become like superstars here at Arizona State. And not all these guys are going to work out. Right. No. And not all of the 4 stars at the top are going to be.
It's like all the people that host podcasts, man. Not all the podcasts work out,
They don't?
No. We're the Keith Abney of podcasts.
Yeah. Should we get to our final thing?
Yeah, well, I think Rubus was in the middle of.
I don't care. It's fine. Just keep going.
What were you gonna say?
I was just saying that, like, just because a guy is a 4-star doesn't mean he's going to be a star here in 3 years, and just because somebody is a 3-star, or apparently a 2-star in Leaf Tanu's case.
Yeah, I don't know how that even works.
That they could end up being very pivotal pieces, and ASU has been the type of school to keep guys around and to stay here. So it'll be excited to see who kind of rises to the top out of this, and hopefully it is those top level guys becoming elite talent.
Not just the school, but the coaching staff, right? The coaching staff, I think, again, has done a phenomenal job of getting the best out of some of these players. So that's obviously exciting. This first day of early signing period is a lot of fun always. And then, of course, I know a lot of folks are really looking forward to the transfer portal opening January 2nd. We are now less than a month away from transfer portal season officially being upon us. Definitely the wildest season as it relates to college football. But yes, Deli Man, we will get to, I don't even want to call these like awards, but just kind of the way that we've evaluated this 2026 recruiting class in a number of categories, starting with the guy that each of us is most excited for here in this 2026 recruiting class. For me, Jermaine Mitchell. I mean, Arizona State doesn't get these types of offensive linemen often. Again, 6'8", 310 pounds. Anytime you can flip somebody from Georgia to Arizona State, that just immediately your ears perk up. I think he is, out of everybody that you signed today, he could be the only one that is a day one starter.
Yeah, I'm very excited for him too. We'll get to him for me here in a second, but it's hard not to look at Jake Fette and think about the prospects of the future of the quarterback position at Arizona State, even if he is not a day one starter here. But the fact that he has been committed for a long time, hasn't flipped his commitment, continues to talk about we. And at the same time, when you look at 2-3 years from now, to have a blue blood level talent that hopefully is at least developing, if not playing on early in his career, it's exciting and it's calming. And so I think that I'm most excited to see him whenever he does hit the field.
I think that's totally fair. A lot of fans definitely excited to see Jake Fette. Deli Man, you've got the tight end, though, Hayden Vercher, as you're most excited for.
I don't think he's going to be a tight end. I think he's going to be a combo tight end receiver. I mean, he's 6'4", 220. That's an NFL X body. Like, Hayden Vercher is somebody who I also was going to put in one of these other categories, but I wanted to mix it up a bit. I mean, last year as a junior, he had 70 catches for damn near 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns in 12 games. Like, he's the word that keeps coming to mind with him is a matchup nightmare, because sure, he's 6'4", 220 at the tight end position, but he also has burner speed for that position.
Yeah.
You put a linebacker on him, that's trouble. Like, I'm super excited to see what Kenny can do with a guy like him, who isn't just coming in here tall and big and with some experience like Akeem Lineu, but is coming in raw, moldable, ready to go.
You keep my goat out of your mouth.
6'4", 220 going into his freshman year of college.
6'4", 220, AJ is 6'6", 260, and then, of course, Landon Myrie, 6'4", like 230, 240 on that list, too.
But Ia and Myrie look like more like tight ends.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he could play anywhere on the field. Like, just look at his frame. It's ridiculous.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see all of these guys. That's who we're most excited for. Erik, I want to start with you on this next one. Who do you think is the biggest addition for Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State in this 2026 signing class?
We weren't talking literally because I went with Jermaine. Look, the reason why I picked Jermaine for the biggest addition now is because, like you said, he's probably most likely to be a day one starter, and you are in this period where you are trying to retain Sam Leavitt as your quarterback for Arizona State next season. And I think in order to do that, you need to prove a couple of things to him, and one of those is that you're going to have an improved offensive line. And to flip a guy like that from Georgia, which in its own right, flipping anybody from Georgia is a big deal, but also has the standing that he has as number one JUCO player in the country and to play that premium position that's going to be protecting your quarterback. I think that's the biggest addition, but I mean, you guys both going with Fette. Again, don't disagree. You can swap either or, and the most excited for and biggest ad for me.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I think anytime you can get a top 10 quarterback in a recruiting class, that obviously speaks volumes about, where you stand as a program with the current generation and future generations as it relates to college football. And Jake Fette, again, just watching what he's capable of doing, he fits the mold of previous Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo quarterbacks, guys that can air it out, but also are dual threat guys. Let's be real. You're not winning in college football. You're not winning in the NFL. You're not really winning at any level of football if you don't have a dual threat quarterback. Jake Fette is that. I think the biggest question is how early in his college career is he going to get a look? Again, I'm not in the camp that it's going to be as a true freshman, but we will see. And Shane, you're with me on this. Jake Fette, you think the biggest addition for Arizona State right now?
Yeah, I mean, this is a high-starred quarterback. I mean, top 10 composite in his class, just behind guys like Ryder Lyons and other people that he's just out of the range of the national media talking about him all the time.
Yeah.
Like you hear with Ryder Lyons, and you hear
who didn't sign today, by the way.
Yeah, with Bo Bentley. You hear with what's that kid's name that went to Houston?
Henderson.
Keyshawn.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Henderson. Like those type of guys. He's just outside of that, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is height, because I don't love my shorter quarterbacks.
I don't either, but watching the highlight video that we saw.
Yeah, but that's high school.
No, well, I know that. I know that. But again, versus like how he looks on Huddle, like he honestly kind of looks like a 6 foot flat quarterback. I don't know what he's listed at, 5'11", maybe 5'10".
He's listed at 6.5.
He looks that though. Like there's a lot of guys that are listed at 6 foot that don't look like they're 6 feet. He looks like he could be that height. And again, if Noah Fafita can have success, then I have no issue with a shorter quarterback getting a look, especially one that can run and has the athleticism of Jake Fette. But something that's been consistent through the first two here is we've all picked big name guys. We've all picked the upper echelon of this class. That's why I want to go ahead and kick it to our under the radar players here. I know he's, in terms of rankings, not necessarily under the radar as a top 3 commit in this class, but it feels like because everyone's talking about Fette, Cardae Mack, Jermaine Mitchell, Julian Hugo's kind of going under the radar, especially at a position where we could certainly see some younger players get some run. I'm excited for Julian Hugo. I think when he gets here, he is going to be an absolute workhorse on the edge for Brian Ward's defense.
Yeah, I'm excited about him too. For me, though, I'm going with Cortavius Tissaby, not just because I love the name, but also because of the measurables, just how big he is. And again, offensive line's a big theme for me.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going to need somebody that's that big, that has that long of a wingspan to be able to help dominate in the trenches going forward. So I'm going with him.
What do you got, Deli Man?
I got Daquan Dunn, rangy corner.
He looks good.
He's 6 foot right now. I think he could come into camp and he would look unrecognizable. He's listed at 6 foot 175. I wouldn't be surprised if he grows an inch and gains 20 pounds. Like he's an exciting prospect, both sides of the ball. Brian Carrington's going to get his hands on him and turn him into a stud.
Yeah, and this is somebody that when he posted his commitment, like you could tell how much this means to him. Like he really, really wants to be here. Said he waited his whole life for this moment. So those types of players, I think immediately you point to, and it's a lot of fun to get those guys in here. Had a comment from somebody earlier, EM, saying that I said that Rashada was better than Noah Fafita. That's not true. If you go back and you actually pay attention and listen with these two things that are on the side of your head, that I said Jaden Rashada has higher potential, a higher ceiling than Noah Fafita. And I believe that is absolutely true, given his measurables. That there is no doubt Jaden Rashada at his size and the arm that he had, that there was certainly a higher ceiling there than somebody like Noah Fafita height-wise. So let's pay attention, U of A fans. I know that's sometimes a difficult thing for you guys in Tucson. But Sharon does a phenomenal job of it as somebody who lives in Tucson. So I would expect better. But yeah, getting to our final note here. Let's go ahead and see what we have for need more of. Of course, we went through the 2026 signing class, and you get a lot of new shiny toys for Kenny Dillingham and company. But what do we got here in terms of what this team still needs, Rubus?
Always need more offensive linemen. That's it.
Beef.
I mean, it's very self-explanatory.
You need beef. Deli Man?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. You need playmakers. It's the gaping hole in this team. Like you don't have a
star.
Yeah, and not even a star, just somebody who get the ball. Yeah, a star. Somebody who get the ball in his hands and go. Like,
yeah.
And I hope one of the guys that's currently on the roster turns into that. But I think you're going to have to go to the portal to get that, especially at the receiver position. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Jaron Hamilton's playbook skills go crazy and he puts on a couple pounds and becomes a true X receiver. Don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, totally fair. Ben Cheesy says O-line, no EM. I still don't believe that. That would be crazy to still believe. I'm going to go with the kicker and punter. In terms of special teams, we know that this has been by far and away the worst unit at Arizona State since Dilly has been here. I'm very interested to see if Jack Nudo gets the full-time special teams job or if they potentially look elsewhere. But regardless, you lost the one, shining star of special teams in Jesus Gomez. So not only do you need a new kicker, but you need somebody who can competently switch the field for Arizona State. This team was dead last in the country in net punt yards. You need to be able to punt the football. I really have a tough time believing that there isn't somebody on campus as a student that couldn't do a better job than what Arizona State did in 2025. So punter, kicker, more beef, and some playmakers for this Arizona State Sun Devil squad. Anything else, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
Aaron, congratulations.
Well, no.
Yeah.
We gotta spin the wheel.
Oh, we gotta spin the wheel.
God.
Spin the wheel. Sorry.
Do we get a drum roll?
For whoever wins the free Die Hard, it's
Aaron!
Whoa! Wow.
Aaron, reach out to me on Twitter or on Instagram at Erik Ruby, and I will facilitate the Die Hard membership process that Sharon was giving away. So,
Amazing.
Sharon's giveaway.
Sharon's Die Hard giveaway.
Shortbus said, "Whoa, wait, I said it too."
Too bad.
Shortbus, you're already Die Hard, man.
We don't want
You weren't tall
in
enough
their
for
toys.
Shortbus reminding us we get to recreate the game-winning field goals from Jesus Gomez.
What if we're just like really cool?
We have found
Or
out
like really good
we don't
at
have
this?
eligibility left, man.
I never played a year.
We
so.
we looked up the 3 game-winning field goals
Okay.
this year. There is a 23-yarder.
Easy. Like that's cake. That's from the 6-yard line. I've kicked that before.
There's a 42-yarder
That is from the 5th to 25. Okay, that's gonna be tough.
and a 49-yarder.
Okay, that's from the 20. That's from the.
It's gonna be a tough
whoa.
one. It's gonna be
that
a
one's
tough
from
one.
the 32.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a
okay.
tough one. So I'm pumped
We
for the
got it.
video. I
That's-
think that's gonna be a
dude.
lot of fun.
We got it.
I'm not.
We
kicking
got it.
I'm gonna tell you right now. We are not making a 49-yarder.
Well, we could try.
I'll bet on myself.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm
gotta get
going
loose.
in with blind delusional confidence, and we'll go from there
We're gonna get this done.
together.
I'm juiced. I'm amped. But that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Hit that like button, the subscribe button on your way out. Again, take advantage of that Die Hard deal, that Die Hard special that we have going on today. If you enjoyed today's content, want more, well, give the show a follow. PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Professor Oates here at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Requiring beef playmakers and special teams as always.
And we will see you on Thursday. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.